here with Jed Ryan, professional nurse. We were talking all about these masks, okay? The N95, really good mask to use, keeps stuff out, right?
Yes, it does.
But tell me about this one, because this is the mask I see a lot of people wear. I mean, what is it going to do? Tell me what it's going to do.
Well, this one we would use for something called droplet precautions. Now, droplets, obviously, there's a difference between droplet and airborne. Droplets are usually larger particles, and that would be protecting yourself from if someone has a wet sneeze or a wet cough and everything. There's danger in that.
But why are they wearing it in the street? Okay.
You know, this we would wear, obviously. See, this one's very user-friendly because of the elastic. And this one also has a little clip for the nose too.
Oh my God!
Does yours have that too?
No, I have the cheap version. Okay, Jed's a professional. He has the clip.
Yes. And again, this
like the way you just whip that on and you kind of spread it. You spread it.
This one I will keep for just like this one is good for just general hygiene. Again, using it, it will also protect the person from you. So in healthcare, we use this a lot because we're seeing a lot of patients. So this is again not airborne. The airborne precautions would be like something like tuberculosis and the COVID. This one would be more for like a flu if you have someone with the flu. There's evidence that the coronavirus, unfortunately, that the COVID is airborne and droplet and also contact. Sadly, you know.
Okay, wait a sec. You just said something here. COVID is airborne. They're saying it's not airborne. If you ask most people out there, what all of us have read, it's airborne if someone sneezes or coughs. But talk about that.
Yes. Well, airborne again is obviously airborne means it's more contagious. We do the airborne where I am, you know, at the hospital, you know, because it's just a very confined space. So our patients are on airborne precautions. Wearing the N95, it would be impractical to wear it for daily use. It would only be recommended for short periods of time. Okay. Because then it is hard to breathe in there.
Well, it is. Know? I use this. I had to go into when I go into Rite Aid because Alan needs ice cream cones every day. When I go into Rite Aid, this is what I put on. Of course, I avoid people, but I still have this on because it is psychological. Because I feel if I have this on and I'm in a small space, I'm not going to get anything.
Yes, for the hospital, we do treat it as if it's airborne and droplet as well. You know. So again, and we're also in like really close proximity to the patient, some of which may actually be tested positive for the virus as well. Wow. So again, the N95 is really probably the best protection, but for short periods of time, you know, and for daily use, this mask will work. So again,
yeah, pull it down the way you do. I love it. I love the way the nice little fit over the face. Notice I'm making Jed model all of that.
The nose and everything.
I don't want it to mess up my lipstick on here. Although when I'm outside, I totally have that on when I need to. What else do you have?
Well, someone asked me if I was allowed to wear my nose. Someone actually sent this very kind of like bitchy email saying, so they made you shave your beard, but they let you wear your nose ring. I said, well, you know, the nose ring's covered up by the mask.
Right.
And the beard was more for personal protection.
You know what I would be afraid about though with the nose ring? Didn't we hear it lives on metal for how long? 3 days? Is it 36 hours?
The conservative estimate is 2 days, and some people have speculated as much as 3 days on there. Most viruses, again, are very delicate. As we all know, they thrive on moist, warm surfaces. So, like the human body, you know, like our mucous membranes, you know, so...
Those mucous membranes!
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So,
all right. Oh, this is... take a look at this.
This actually has a visor on there.
Oh, my God.
Again, at my hospital, you know, we like to be... they call it eye precautions. So someone droplet, airborne, you know, contact, and eye precautions. And this is, again, you know, someone coughs just to protect the eyes, too. You know, in our daily lives, we want to be staying away, you know, from people that show signs of being ill. Not to the point where, like, we can't be polite. We don't want to lose common courtesy and all that, you know. Right. You know, if someone holds the door open for you, I still say thank you. I'm not like, oh, 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, you know. We don't want to lose our civility in this, you know.
Man, you could see that happening. Yes, I love this. Jed looks just like a Power Ranger. Art is the Power Ranger. Oh my God! This is the whole ensemble.
We use these at the hospital. We use these too. And again, the problem with these is you know, these need to be thrown away every time. You know, because these are kind of like harder to keep clean, and it's generally just for like cleanliness. Obviously, the coronavirus can live on hair. So we want to wash our hair every day.
How long does it live on hair for?
I suspect probably, my estimate, could be up to 48 hours.
Are you kidding?
That's
I
the estimate
just
now.
okay. So here's where I'm going with all of this, and I'm insane with this. I mean, I actually sprayed myself down with Lysol the other day. All right, but here's where
It's
I'm
like
going.
my friend, she says she douches with Lysol.
Right.
Yes,
That old Lysol douche. I just don't feel fresh.
I'm like, I don't know, that seems a little extreme there.
A little extreme, not to mention feels burning. But this is worrisome, the hair thing, because I mean, come on, how can, if I like brush against a shelf at Rite Aid and the virus is on the shelf, it's going to jump onto my hair?
As somebody mentioned, like one of our staff mentioned, it is in the community, as we all know, unfortunately. In New York, we tend to live in small places. We don't get as much fresh air as we could. We're more stressed. The air quality might not be as great, and we live in tight corners, and we just don't have that much space. So it's in the community. All we can do is just take any steps necessary to protect ourselves and kind of gauge the situation. I'm not going to walk around looking like this 24 hours. But I would, and I don't wear the hair bonnet at work. I really just don't.
It's quite the bonnet there.
Again, it's only speculation that it could live on hair, because hair is generally not moist. It's not really porous.
Right,
hair is dead material.
It's dead material. So
I'd say it's probably the same as living on clothes. It can.
Even that, you're out, you brush again. Okay, they tell you metal. What, 3 days on metal? It lives on metal?
From my experience, I don't know if I believe that, because metal is a cold, hard surface.
The thing we don't know what to believe anymore. And the other day, I'm going to Central Park to jog, and I go to stretch, and I lean against a metal post, something I would do, and I'm like, oh no, I'm leaning against a metal post. Now it's on my clothes. I mean, at what point can we say that we feel safe, or we'll never be safe enough?
Yeah, well, again, we hear a lot about the curve, flattening the curve. The time that they say it takes to recover from the virus is currently 14 to 21 days.
Right.
If there are no complications, meaning like what we would do at the hospital if somebody comes in and tests positive for the virus, we just basically keep an eye on them. You can't cure a virus. Most viruses are uncurable. We kind of have to let it work its way out of the system.
It works its way out of your system.
Yes.
But the 14 to 21, I know some people in the last 2 weeks that were in good health. They did get the virus. It lasted about a week.
Yes.
Can it last a week? Or did they have something else and not realize it? Because these tests are hard to get. Not everybody can get tested.
Yes, they are. And this is something we talked about earlier. There has been more opportunities to test. So yes, the number of positive cases in New York have gone up. They've skyrocketed. But that's because more people are getting tested. There could have been a lot of people walking around that didn't know about it. And so that's why. So it sounds scary at first. And the viruses, they will work their way out of their system eventually. What we do as healthcare practitioners is, if somebody is short of breath, we give them some oxygen just for comfort.
Support.
We call it supplemental oxygen.
Right, you give support.
You give support. If anybody is in danger of developing a concurrent bacterial or a fungal infection, we take precautions to prevent that with prophylactic antibiotics.
Got it.
And basically pain also, like muscle spasms, muscle pain, or nausea, we treat the pain and we treat the nausea. We want to set the stage for their body to do the work for them.
I like that. Wow. I mean, this is just...
The human body heals itself.
I'm going to cry. For us, setting the stage as entertainers. We're setting the stage in a pandemic.
We are. We want to set the stage for the human body to heal itself.
Right.
And again, there are cases. This is why we talk about a shortage of ventilators, where somebody might need to go on ventilation support. And that's why we're at my hospital. God has blessed them. They have done a lot to make sure that we have enough space if needed.
That's great.
And making sure that every staff member is equipped to be on on call. It's got to be hard for a nurse that's for example, done labor and delivery to all of a sudden be dealing with COVID patients.
But you guys are, and when I say you guys, I mean men and women. You guys are. I really am in awe of you. You're the heroes of this war. And again, I admire your bravery. I admire your generosity of heart. I can't, thank you. Thank you for coming here today to check on Alan. Thank you for all this wonderful information. I want to get this out there to people. There's a lot of stuff floating around, and it always helps to talk to someone that is at the belly of the beast, and that's you.
Yes, well, thank you too, and thank you for what you're doing because you're giving people an outlet. I mean, as I told you before, we used to love going out partying or at least going to the gym, and you know, I would go on the rowing machine to work off all that. We can't do that. So what you're doing is you're giving people virtual entertainment and all that, and it's connecting people, and you know, it's important.
Folks, stay connected, stay self-aware. Check in on your friends. You know, we're texting, which is great. Group texts are great. Zoom is great. But you know what? It also is nice to pick up a phone, call somebody that you haven't spoken to in a long time. I know a gazillion people, and I must spend a couple of hours a day doing that now. It makes me feel good. It makes them feel good. And at the end of the day, we all know we are all in this together. Thank you, Jen Ryan.
Never leave home without it.
No, Pharrell.
Yes, wash those hands.